Well, just kind of waiting for a few people to get in here. See if anybody wants to chat. Was chatting just a little while ago, or trying to, with Flipside on her channel, and it was lagging. So definitely curious to know that this is either going to work or not work for me. Having a hard time swallowing and talking, so I'm probably not going to be very long in this live stream. However, I wanted to come on here in the easiest way that I knew possible to do a little bit of an update video and just get you guys caught up to speed as to what I'm going through. Ever since yesterday, I had a procedure done called an aspiration of my thyroid, and as you can see, this mark that's on my neck, and my neck is very swollen, and I'm having a hard time swallowing on the right side. They literally nicked my trachea. So I'm having a hard time swallowing. I had a very hard time last night sleeping. I did actually not get to sleep until 10 o'clock today, Eastern Standard Time. And by that time, I don't know, it wasn't good sleep, to say the least. So I did what I had to do and tried to get as best sleep as I could, and woke up just a short while ago, had myself some coffee, and that's about it. All I'm going to have for right now. I'm feeling a little woozy still, queasy. They did not give me anything for pain or for infection or anything like that. They actually told me the procedure was not going to be as invasive or as painful. It was very painful for me. Apparently, the tumor that they are biopsying, is that even a word? The one that they're checking on, that they're concerned for, is very, very deep, a lot further back and a lot deeper than the doctor who did the actual biopsy himself. You know, he even said, I didn't even think it was that far back, and he did not. That's just wonderful. He did not take as much of a sample as he initially was going to. Sorry. When it's live, you get to hear everything. It's the outside minions fighting over food and my inside minions barking at them. So yeah, pretty much just like I'm having a really hard time talking. My head is back somewhat of a way, which is how it was when they did the procedure. They scrunched up a pillow and put it up under my back and had me put my head back. Hey, Christine. Hi. I'm doing this live stream because it's like the only way I can get on here and do a video. I did a couple of videos that I filmed and I have yet to put them up, but this is in relation to the biopsy that I went for yesterday, the procedure, and they about killed me. So yeah, they had my head back and they put this pillow up under my neck, my back, and had my head all the way back. And so I'm okay if I have my head back, but not okay when I go to put my head back, if that makes any sense. And so sleeping has been really, really hard on me, and I'm having a hard time swallowing, and yeah, eating and drinking and all that kind of stuff is hurting. They literally nicked my trachea. They explained that the way the butterfly shaped or whatever thyroid is your windpipe is in the middle, and then you have your thyroid, and one side of it actually wraps around it. Well, the doctor or tech or whatever he is that did the aspiration with the needle, he said that he was very, very close, or just up against, or brushing up against my trachea. But at one point he had said, and I'm pretty sure he said to the nurse that he nicked my trachea. And I feel it. It's very, very swollen. This is the day after. I had it done yesterday at around 1:40 something in the afternoon. My appointment was for 1, but they had me waiting a while before he came in because he was with another patient. And yeah, they can only numb the outside area with lidocaine. They cannot numb inside, and the deeper they go, the worse off that is for the patient, and in my case, myself. And thank you for the like, Christine. Yeah, I'm not happy. I think if I would have known about this procedure in an honest light, I probably would not have had it, even though I need to get to the bottom of things and know if what I have is or is not a benign tumor. I'm hoping that it is a benign tumor. But I can tell you from the way that I've been feeling the last couple of months, actually last couple of years, but more so the last couple of months, that it's probably a lot worse. And I know that these things are sometimes, they're treatable, and or they're benign, and it's very rare. See, I'm losing my voice. It's very rare that they're not. Very rare that they are cancer or something, more serious cancer, but there is that chance. And I hate to say it for anybody who might watch this back later, because I will leave it up. But for the one that's watching it now, Christine, and I love you so very much for being here, that I'm one of those people that the rare things that could happen, the side effects that are possible, I get them. I don't know what it is with that. And I don't ever go to doctors, and I don't go to hospitals, and I hate them because I never want to find out what I got. And there's two things that I've always lived my life around. And one is that there are no coincidences in life, that everything happens for a reason. And secondly, if there is something that is going to happen, it's going to happen to me. It's just that way. And if that's not what I wanted to say, actually what I wanted to say is that if I actually lost my train of thought, but that's been happening too. I'm still on keto. I'm still eating a ketogenic lifestyle. I have my mom on it, so there's absolutely nothing in my house that we cannot get into that is going to knock us out of ketosis. That is not to say that there is nothing in the house that we're going to eat that's not going to keep us on a ongoing regimen of losing weight. We could overdo it on the calories. Calories in, calories out. That is a fact for any diet that you're doing, no matter what it is, whether you're doing it for health or weight loss or both. But if you're doing it for weight loss, for sure, that's the way it has to be. I'm not just counting macros. I also have to keep my calories down to a minimum. But I need to be at that minimum. Like I notice when I don't eat enough, I don't lose at all. And I just kind of stay stagnant. And if I eat enough, or even something I think I'm not supposed to be, because I ate cream cheese before I went to sleep this morning, but I had ample enough sleep and I woke up and I had a loss on the scale. Whether I keep that loss and stay at that number, at least in the next day or two, which I would love to hope will happen, that's something to be determined in the next day or two. I just don't know. But as you can probably tell, if you're watching this, I'm having a hard time swallowing. It is this side of my neck. You can see the mark that they left me with. The nurse took a pen and made a little dot on a paper and said, "That's all you're going to get." Yeah, right. They just kept poking me and poking me and poking me to the point where I have this ring of all needle marks, actually, is what that is. And it's a bruise. And it's very, very deep within my thyroid. And it's I don't even remember now. It's a 2 something centimeter 2.2 centimeter nodule. Inferior right thyroid with irregular borders, for which ultrasound needle aspiration was recommended for future evaluation if not previously performed. So that's what they did yesterday, was that ultrasound aspiration. So he's sitting there and pushing on me with the ultrasound wand and going in with the needle and trying to get what he had to get, and basically complaining to his assistant that he was having a hard time getting to it. He only took 2 of what I thought was initially going to be at least 5 samples, anywhere from 3 to 5. He stopped at, he said 2. He said that's going to have to be enough, because apparently he wasn't going to get in there any other way that he was trying. And I was kind of relieved, but not, because now I feel like, they told me at my endocrinologist's office that they're going to take anywhere from 3 to 5 samples. And there's 3 outcomes. 1, that it's benign, which is the outcome we want. 2, that it's cancer, which is obviously the outcome we don't want. Or 3, that we have to go back in because we didn't get a good enough sample. And we definitely don't want that either. At least I don't. especially after what I just went through yesterday. So I'm now in fear of the outcome number 3, that they didn't get enough of a good sample and they're going to have to go in and try another way or whatever to get whatever they need. And I just feel like it aggravated something, because, the possibilities, like they told me the tumor, if it was going to obstruct my vocal cords or going to obstruct swallowing or any of those things, even if benign, they would consider the possibility of removing either the tumor or I guess the thyroid. I don't know. I don't want them to remove my thyroid. I know that. I have a perfectly functioning thyroid, I was told. All my numbers are good, surprisingly enough. But this right lobe, which measures the way that it does, there's 2 nodes in there, and they're only looking at the larger of the 2. But the fact that there's 2 in there, if one is whatever they say it is, I'm not too sure that the other isn't, and isn't going to be growing at any rate, because the nurse practitioner who I've seen at the neurologist, at the endocrinologist's office, told me that this is not, or the chances of this not being a fast or aggressive growing cancer, if it is cancer, is very slim to none or rare. I forget her words. But that, and hello to whoever just popped in also. I got 2 watchers. But that, it's like we don't have to rush. Well, that's easy for her to say. If you're somebody dealing with something like this, and Christine, I know for sure you are, honey. You don't want to hear that, because you know what? It's not your life. It's not you. So for you to tell me this is nothing we have to rush is not beneficial to me in any way. In fact, it's just the opposite. It makes me feel like you care less for me than I care for myself. If I have something foreign inside my neck, I want it the heck on out of my neck. And hello to whoever else just came in. I now have 3 viewers. So please give this video a like if you're just coming in. And basically, just to recap a little bit, I just basically did this video so that I can get out to you guys. Hey, Sarah Jane, thank you for coming. It was so sad that Flipside lost their connection. I don't know what happened, and I went and looked for another one and didn't see one, so I figured I'd just come on here live and do a video. I know there's 4 people in here now watching. And yeah, I'm doing this video because I needed to give a little update on this mark on my neck, which is from the ultrasonic aspiration that they did with the needle, doing a biopsy of my thyroid. And they about killed me. If they would have told me how painful it was, I would have not opted to do it. And so I guess I don't know if they deliberately lied to me or they just didn't know what they were up against until they were trying to get into it, because of the fact that I'm losing my train of thought tonight. I'm not with it, guys, at all. I just woke up a little while ago. I did not end up falling asleep till finally maybe around 10 something this morning. I was up all night with pain in my throat and my neck on the right side. I could not swallow at all at one particular point. They didn't give me anything for pain. They didn't give me anything for infection. They basically told me everything should be fine. And I don't know. I mean, they didn't give me any other options as far as having this biopsy done. This was just what I was told I needed once they found the actual tumors in my thyroid. And so I just took the next step and did what I was told, as I have been doing what I'm told ever since I took it upon myself to go back to the doctor and have them rerun blood work and whatnot, because I've been having a myriad of different issues. I've been having the issue with menopause. I was having waking, pounding heartbeats that woke me from sleep in a laying position. I wasn't running or doing anything, and yet it felt like I had exasperated myself with some cardio or something, to the point where my heart was just pounding so fast and just boom, 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 boom. I mean, my whole entire body was shaking. And that was enough to scare me into going to the doctor, on top of the fact that after I had my gallbladder removed on April 23rd, April 24th, the following day, I remember asking for a pad in the hospital because I started spotting. So that was like the last time I had seen any bit of a of menstruation. And I thought to myself, oh, this isn't good, and for 5 months, like up until it was Friday, August the 10th, I started spotting again, and I actually had a full, or no, I'm sorry, August the 3rd. Yeah. And I had a full on period for 7 whole days up till August 10th. But if you're in perimenopausal stage, you can have periods here and there sporadically or whatnot for 10 years. So that's where I'm at. And the blood test did confirm the levels of the progesterone, estrogen, and they're what they're called post-menopausal or follicular phase, luteal phase, and postmenopausal, and I'm postmenopausal. So I have my blood work here. I have my findings of my EKG, which completely A-OK. All my blood. I have a completely awesome functioning thyroid. Nothing going on with the function of it, which I thought maybe the exact opposite, which with the way I was losing weight and whatnot, seemingly like I would get to a certain point and then just nothing would happen. I would just like plateau, or what I call flatline. And everything else was good. But when I had my auto accident, October 16th, 2016, I had gone for an MRI somewhere around that same period. I want to say maybe it was like November of 2016. And that doctor had given me my results and basically started asking me questions about my thyroid. Did I have trouble losing weight? Did I have trouble swallowing? Did I feel ever, phlegmy, whatever? And I didn't have a yes answer for any of the questions he was asking, but he did make me sign a paper on my way out the office at the desk to say that I was made aware that I had to go see my primary doctor about my thyroid. And I signed that paper that he did make me aware of that. But at that time, I did not have proper medical insurance. I only had the insurance that I got from my automobile accident. And that was only to cover automobile issues. So I never addressed the situation until, fast forward 2018, I have insurance. I've had it since 2017, but I've procrastinated going to any doctors or anything. And I started going to the doctors back in March, early March, mid-March, and getting all my blood results and everything and my tests done. And all that came back just great, And here I had been cheating on keto because I've been on keto since January 8th of 2017. Just even thinking that I had an issue with my thyroid and knowing how many people who have had Hashimoto's and or other types of thyroid issues have gone on a ketogenic way of eating and have had a lot better success with the way that they were feeling. So I followed suit immediately and tried to take not the holistic way of doing it, but the natural way of doing it through, food, because half of what ails us is what we put in our bodies anyways. And so food is the primary source of things that we put in our body that are foreign to our bodies. Whether it's something that we've been eating all our lives or something that, we decide, okay, let's eat this or eat that. And if you go out to eat a lot, or you eat fast food, or you eat prepackaged meals that are cooked for you or prepared for you, you really don't know what's in them. You can't really trust the labels on a lot of this food. And do any of us really even bother to read the ingredients on these labels? And do we understand at what magnitude or at what percentage of each of those key ingredients are we even ingesting? And therefore we get sick. And things can happen to us. And a lot of us don't know how those things happen. We don't want to believe it's happening from the things that we're eating. We don't want to believe that it's happening from the things that we're allowing ourselves to enjoy or that make us feel good, especially at a time now when we have the shit scared out of us. And it's, I don't say that it's a cure for illness, but it can help. It definitely can help that if it wasn't for how I've been feeling since starting to eat the keto way and then going off plan every now and again and getting knocked out of ketosis, because I'm only human and I'm a food addict and I do eat foods I shouldn't eat when they're around me. Right now I'm doing particularly good. I'm like the 4th week, I think, of being back on keto with my mother. I literally cleaned out everything. She has what she calls lipedema or lymphoderma or something, where she had weight loss surgery like 15, 16 years ago, and she got down to a really nice, fine little svelte body, and she had lost a lot of weight. And then she started to little bit slowly put the weight back on. But she's blaming her issues on skin and fluid retention. And maybe it is. I don't know. She did have a procedure that was possibly quite unnecessary for her, more necessary for the pockets that were lined of the doctor who did some sort of a L something fusion surgery to her, and it just basically, it wasn't good for her at all. And she never even had any back problems or anything, so I don't get that whole fusion thing. But afterwards she suffered, and she is suffering. But I put her on this keto way of eating, and her feet are a lot less swelled up, a lot less, not just minimally where you can just see a little improvement. I see a lot of improvement in just I think this past Monday was 3 weeks since we've been on keto together. So there is definite proven testimonial for me that, this is a way of eating. And this is why I keep going back to this even when I fall off track, because I just feel better. My mind is clearer. I don't have as much brain fog, whether it's from years of smoking marijuana when I used to, which I honestly have no shame in admitting that I grew up in an era of that's just what we did. We partied, and not to take ourselves outside of how we felt, but it's like food with family when you get together and you eat and you gather around a feast. I partied with my friends. It was what we did. That was fun. That's how we lived our lives before school, after school, middle school, whatever. We'd skip, we'd go smoke a doobie and come back, go to class. That was like the fun in those days. And now I don't. I haven't smoked a joint or anything in at least since before June 26, 2010. So anyways, excuse the dogs in the background. I have some minions outside. Probably early on, if you play this back, you'll hear the cat fight that was out there. And I'm forcing myself not only to talk over them, but to talk through this thing they left me with, this aspiration here. I don't know if you guys can see it very well, but this is very swollen on this side. They went in with needles. I did not see the needles. Luckily, I probably would have freaked out right then and there, but they went in all over the place. They told me I'd be left with just one pinprick, and she puts a dot on a paper with a pen. She says, that's about what it is. No, it's more than that. It's bruised. It's very swollen and raised, and inside feels like I'm swallowing a walnut. On that one side. So whatever wasn't messed with before has now been messed with. And they also mentioned that they nicked my trachea. So I don't know what that means, nicking it, brushing up against it. He tried to change it after the fact and say, well, when I said, what do you mean you nicked it? He said, well, we brushed up against it. Didn't tell me don't swallow during the procedure, but I go to swallow. He's like, no, don't swallow. Don't you think you should tell me that before you go sticking a needle in my neck? So that's, the nicking. I don't know what point did he nick my trachea. If it was my fault because I swallowed, but that same swallowing feeling that I had while he was going in there and doing whatever he was doing to the tumor is that feeling that I've had to want to swallow all night long. And just, it hurts, guys. It really hurts seriously bad. I know what it is. My neighbor is outside making a ruckus. Nothing else new. But right now where I'm at is waiting on the results. The results will take 3 to 5 days. I can have it as early as Friday, or I can have them back as early as Monday, Tuesday. I won't be getting them personally. I have both my primary care physician and my endocrinologist, who's going to be getting the report. And at which point I'll go and make an appointment to see one or the other for follow-up. The other one I have an appointment for, my primary, that is, I have an appointment to go back and see them on the 13th of September, which I figured, this will give me plenty of time to get the results back and know what I need to know so that I'm prepared when I go there. Then they know what they're looking at and they know what they can tell me or not tell me or prescribe to me. A little backstory recently, aside from the fact that I knew I had an MRI done back in 2016 that showed something, which is what I showed my doctor, my primary care physician's office. They really didn't think anything was wrong. Everything was fine. She didn't feel anything when she touched my neck. And so she just, she took my word. She saw the report, and that's when she got the ball rolling and sent me for a test, an ultrasound of my thyroid, the EKG because of the heart palpitations and whatnot that I was having, which is probably perimenopausal or postmenopausal stage. Is it? No, premenopausal. What did I read here to you guys before? I get these things. Yeah. Actually, now postmenopausal would be after the fact, right? And then I don't know. I'm not postmenopausal if I'm still having a period, guys. So I'll have to ask my doctor about that. But because she underlined it, and maybe she just was trying to explain something and did. But I'll show you guys. It's underlined, okay? It's underlined. So I don't know. So this is what I'm dealing with, and the fears and all that. And now I did a video. I know I was telling Christine was here with me earlier when I first came online. I did a video. I did a couple of videos. I need to upload those. They're kind of going to come late to those of you who have already probably talking to me in here. My brain is all over the place. My nerves have been to the point where I can't remember my own phone number when I go to the doctor and I'm filling out the form. And I can't remember my doctor's name, and I can't remember my endocrinologist, the nurse practitioner's name. Everything is just a big blur. Seriously, really bad. And I'm trying to handle things on my own. Another thing that's going on with me, which I have not been talking openly to anybody about, is it's just my mom and I in the house right now. I'm still married. I'm kind of in the dating stage, I guess, if you will, because I still see my husband. He comes over, he does the lawn, and he helps out and stuff. But we're currently living apart. We'll just say there's nothing legal about it or anything. We're just living apart. And I think it's helping me, and definitely he's getting the help that he needs. So that's a good thing there. But with all this medical stuff going on, it's a little harder for me because I don't have the little bit of help that I used to get from him around the house. And if any of you guys who do know me, who might know, we have 2 dogs, 2 very big dogs, 6 kitty cats, a bird, and some little fish in a fish tank, and everybody needs taken care of. And I have complete and utter OCD, and my house has to be clean every single day. So no matter how bad I feel when I wake up, no matter what time of the day or night, I'm cleaning my house and I'm doing things when I probably should be relaxing. Kind of like this video. I probably shouldn't be talking right now. But I have to say, I'm feeling a little better that I'm on here talking to you guys. I'm not feeling as much pain. I'm not swallowing as much either. And maybe that's what I needed, because just laying there in bed, trying to, let the pain subside or just go, that was probably just making me feel worse. If you don't use it, you'll lose it kind of thing. So I do feel a lot better since I've been on here for the last 30 minutes now talking. But yeah, speaking of the last 30 minutes talking, I'm not going to just keep going on and on and on. I appreciate the love and the prayers that y'all who have reached out to me have been giving me. And my prayers are going to be with you, Christine, for when you go on Tuesday for your biopsy. And yes, they do always act like it's no big of a deal, and they treat us like we're just a paycheck or something, or a number. But yeah, we don't have to rush. And I know yours is in your kidneys, and that's something, I don't care where it is. Look, girlfriend, we know no matter where we have something that does not belong in our bodies, we want it out. I want it out. I don't want it inside me. And even if it is the worst case scenario and it's something that's going to affect me or possibly affect me, I don't want it in my body. But if it's cancer, I have to say, I know how cancer can metastasize once we're opened up and air hits to it. I have cancer that runs rapidly on both sides, both maternal and paternal side of my family. My father died of adenocarcinoma, which it was a metastasized, very fast metastasizing cancer that might have stemmed from, we don't know, it was colon or throat or where, but wherever it first started, it was many years because maybe it wasn't a fast growing cancer, but once it spread to an area where it became a different kind of cancer that was fast growing, and he had started showing signs, it was downhill from there, and it was very, very fast, and he was taken from us. I think within like 2 months he was gone. So grandmother got lung cancer, and she never smoked a day in her life. My aunt on my mother's side also, the grandmother with the lung cancer was on mother's side, and then my aunt had throat cancer. So these things happen. Stage 1, I don't care what stage it is. I don't. And you know what? I think if anybody tells me no rush, I don't want them to be my doctor. That's just my feeling. I mean, that just came into my head right now when I read that comment from you. It's easy for everybody to say no rush. They know their backlog of customers, of patients. They probably know, well, I can't do surgery for 3-4 months. So let's tell you not to rush because it doesn't fit with my schedule. I don't know. I don't trust anybody in the medical field. Nobody, never have, never will. And it's not about something bad happening to me or something bad that I knew that happened to somebody else. It's my intuition. And I have a very, very acute intuition. I'm always right. Always. I hate that I am, but I am. I stopped having dreams that I recall because I don't like that they seem to come true. And weird things have always happened to me ever since I was a little girl. From being run over in a box that could have killed me, that nothing was wrong with me. My arm supposedly got crushed by an old Dodge Dart, and I was a miracle from that point on. Just weird things happened to me. So, I've never had any surgeries or anything up until April 23rd, when they removed my gallbladder. And that was not a fun procedure for me. Then I turned 48 in May, on the 7th of May, and then it was just like, all these things happening. But I needed to know, because if not, then I got nobody to blame but myself that something happened and I didn't do something to find out. And I know that for those of you who have gone through the medical world, done things with doctors. I know, Christine, you've had weight loss surgery, and also Sarah Jane has a lot of medical things going on with her, plus your mom. And I want you to know, Sarah Jane, tell Mama Dee I've been praying for her a lot more than for myself, because I just, it was great to see her in the nursing home with y'all celebrating Nate's birthday. But just knowing she's in there, because I had to put my mom and dad both. My dad had to be in a nursing home, and there was no choice because he needed to be ambulatory so he can get whatever radiology treatments they were giving him when he had cancer. And I hated that. It was just a process that, I said I'd never put my parents in one of those places because I don't trust them. But if they can do for themselves and be their own advocate while they're in there, then by all means, I guess maybe it's not so bad, or something that we don't have to worry about as bad, because if it's necessary, it's necessary. But my mom also had some issue when she had that lumbar fusion, where she was sent to a nursing facility not far from here where I live. So it was okay. I got to go back and forth and see what was happening with her. But she did complain a couple of times of ways they made her feel and things that they were doing that, you just kind of expect nowadays with stories that you hear. But yeah, you see, like, you had a dream that a pimple, and see, for months I've been saying to my mom and my husband, I have cancer. I know I have cancer. And it's not like I want to put that out there. I'm not, putting something into the universe and making it happen. And I'm not believing something and making it happen, like the law of attraction or The Secret. That's not at all. It was a feeling that I had long before by the way that I've been feeling physically. It's one thing being overweight. and feeling like physically drained, or eating sugar or a lot of carbs, which make you feel good in the moment. But then you have that crash, so it's all that stuff. Yeah. I was taking into account a lot of research that I was doing, a lot of different things that I was trying, is that you could see from my channel, from my videos, what to eat, what not to eat, vegan, vegetarian, just vegetarian, pollo pescatarian, vegetarian, which is chicken and fish, but mostly vegetables. I mean, all that stuff that I tried, while it helped me lose weight because I was creating a calorie deficit, nothing at all made me feel as good as I feel when I'm doing just eating keto and not introducing these grains and all this carby, crappy stuff that I love to cook, obviously, like the cookies, the cakes. I wasn't eating them. And when I don't eat those things, I feel phenomenal. However, still get a little bit of brain fog, still tired, still sluggish. I could sleep 9, 10, 11 hours, get a good night's sleep, and wake up and still just want to go back to sleep. So, and depression and all these other little things, these nuances or whatever you want to call them, like feelings, they put me on Paxil. Did I want to take it? No. But this particular medicine helps alleviate some of the side effects, or the symptoms rather, of menopause. So like my nurse practitioner at my primary said, look, I don't like to take anything either, but if I was you, or if it was me, I would take it. So I'm taking them, and I'm down to a few pills. And like I said, and I have one, dogs are freaking out because of the rain, so I'm going to go in a minute here. But anyways, I'm doing what I'm told. They said it won't start affecting me. I'm not getting the hot flashes. That's the good part. I'm not getting the heart palpitations that were waking me up from a sleep. That's even better part. But yeah, just this problem. And I wasn't having any pain or discomfort, and I didn't feel like I had anything in my thyroid other than what they're telling me I have, and now they messed with it. So now I'm feeling it. Anyways, guys, I love you for sitting with me for over 37 minutes on here. I'm going to go because the dogs are about to tear down the baby gate because of the rain, and it's just going to get worse. One of them is in fear of the rain. The other one is just sticking up for her brother. So I love you guys so very much, and I hope you're all having a blessed and beautiful day wherever you are. I'll pray for you, Sarah Jane, your mom, Mama Dee, Christine. I'll pray for everybody who needs prayers. I'm not going to stop. It helps me feel better. So love you guys. Have a great evening.